morning everyone. My name is Earl Brian Digaenad and we are the group 2. So we are the procedure determine the procedure of the ECDs, safety depths and overlays. So ECDs demonstration procedures of activating ECDs display information, safety depth and overlays. So navigating ECDs display information. Number 1, we have head over task list. We have monitoring, so you can see the screen on the you can see the platform on the screen, the given situation and direction of the ships. And the third is we have to select the charts to determine the exact scale or date, issue, chart number, anything else that written on the specifically uh, screen. So next we have number 3, select layers or tab. So we have different menu on this. We have general, ANC, demo, update. So we have layers. And number 4, choose a display mode. Each mode varies on what kind of information you want to display on the chart. So you are going to the display category. So we have custom, and next is we have base. Display base permanently retained on this display, consisting of number 1, coastline or high water. Number 2, on ship's safety contour to be selected by the mariner. Number 3, indication of the isolated underwater dangers at depths of the less than of the less than safety contour which lie within the safe waters defined by the safety contour. So 4, indication of isolated dangers which lie within the safe waters defined by the safety contour, such as bridge, overhead wires, etc., including buoys and beacons, whether or not these are being used as aid to navigations. 5, traffic routing system. So we have number 6. Number 6 is scale, range, orientation, and display mode. Number 7, units of depth and height. So we have display base, standard display, and all other information. So we have also the standard. Standard display means to be displayed with the chart is first displayed by the ECDs of consisting of number 1, display base, 2, drying line, 3, indication of the fixed and floating aids to navigation, 4, boundaries of fairways, channel, etc. So on. So number 5, visual radar conspicuous features. Number 6, prohibited and restricted areas. Number 7, chart scale boundaries. Number 8, indication of cautionary notes. That is the standard display. So custom. So as you can see, custom is made of a lot of button or menu on the ECDs. So we have all other information displayed in individual demand. For example, spouts, soundings, some marine cables and pipelines, ferry routes. So we have the route that we are going to follow, and 4, details of isolated dangers. So other danger roads, you will not pass the danger roads. You will going to the right path of the following the right path of the ECDs that you are going to set. So details of isolated dangers. Number 5, details of aids to navigation, because navigation is all about transfer goods from one to another. And 6, contents of cautionary notes. We have the precaution and warning signs. And number 7, ANC edition date. Number 8, geodic datum. Number 9, magnetic variation. For example, magnetic variation is like the Bermuda Triangle. It has the force to magnetic to force you ground. And reticule, number 10. And 11, place names. We have the different place like island. It can be recognized by the ECDs. So navigating this safety domain. Number 1, head over task list. So we have here monitoring. So number 2, select monitoring tab. Okay. Number 3, navigating this safety domain. Select the safety alarm tab. The safety frame is a feature that offers for warning of danger, primarily intended to prevent grounding. But these features was switched off. Appropriate safety settings are of paramount importance of the ECDIS display. These settings control how the ECDIS present depth information, making it easier to visualize the area that are safe for vessel to navigate in from those which are not. So ECDIS is a theoretical framework that can recognize uh, how how shallow the water is, or how far are you from the top of the and the bottom.
Hello everyone, I'm Kadete Pangalas and my topic is about safety contour. And safety contour is the most important parameter of all the safety settings for the display of unsafe water areas, detecting isolated dangers and triggering anti-grounding alarms. So the safety contour is basically an outline which marks the division between safe and unsafe waters. And the colors blue is used to indicate the unsafe areas, while white or gray for safe areas. The default safety contour is, if not specified by the mariner, is set to 30 meter. The blue color traditional paper chart does not provide a vivid picture of shallow water, and the depths mentioned in the blue part of paper chart may be shallower for a deep draft vessel, while safer vessel with smaller draft, unlike paper charts. Like this allows the officers to set safety parameters according to the ship's static or dynamic particulars. The safety contour can be calculated as follows. So here are the safety contour called ship drafts plus squat plus TC minus height of the tide, and contours are present in the value of 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30, and so on. If the value set by the mariner is not available among available depths contours like this, select the next deepest available contour in the ENC.
The safety depth setting. The sole purpose of the safety depth is to properly spot soundings either in grave or for deeper depth or black for shallower depth. Compared to the safety depth value entered by the navigating officer, thereby highlighting the potential safe and unsafe areas. The safety depth values has no effect on alarms or any other aspect of ECDIS. Safety depth is normally the ship draft of squat. Now the question is why we need to mention safety depth when safety contours can demarcate between safe and unsafe waters. It is also logically so select safety depth equal to safety contour. Some soundings on the solar side of the safety contours will be gray because they are deeper than the safety depth set by the mariner, although shallower than the safety contour selected by ECDIS. The depth below safety contour may not be always be non-navigable. Suppose, for example, if safety depth or safety contours are set to 11 meters, the ECDIS will emphasize the depth contours equals or deeper than the selected contours, which says it's 20 meters, which is ever it's available in the ANC. Thus, we can see the water areas with depth between 11 to 20 meters are navigatable but are below the safety contours. This provides the mariner with additional information about where the safe could most safely pass. If crossing the safety contour is required, an alarm will still sound. This could provide additional maneuvering room in a narrow passage where safe depth exists.
So inside the box is depth alarm. And shallow contour is 9 meters, while the safety contour is 15 meters, and the safety depth is 14 meters, and lastly the deck contour is 50 meters. The shallow contour highlights the gradient of the seabed. It is considered to be the grounding depth This is the depth below which the ship will definitely go around. This value can be set equal to the ship's draft. Therefore, if ship's draft ship's draft is 7.7 meters, shallow contour value can be set as 8 meters. The ECDIS will display the next depth contour available in the ENC. All of the areas between the 0 meter depth and the shallow contour is therefore not navigable at all and appears hatched. As I have already mentioned earlier that the division between safe and unsafe water is highlighted by chart coloring, with blue color for indicating unsafe area while white or gray for safe areas. The unsafe area is further defined with the selection of shallow contour showing dark blue in the water and light blue between the shallow water, and the safety contour when 4 shade display is selected. 2 shades and 4 shade display is further explained below. So as what you can see in the picture with an arrow, that is the shallow water contour on ECDIS.
Deep water contour setting. This is normally set to twice the ship draft. However, navigating officer can use deep water contour value the way they want.
Admiralty Information Overlay. The AIO is worldwide digital dataset that is designed to be a display over ENCs in ISDES and other chart display system to provide additional information during passage planning. The AIO is refreshed every week as part of the EVS's weekly update and is used on disk and by download. The weekly disk contains the base edition and all updates to date, so you only need to load the most recent disk on board. A new edition is used approximately every 2 years. After 90 weeks updates, managing temporary information with AIO. The UKHO issues a weekly bulletin of temporary and preliminary notices of marine T&P NMS, NMs, which contains temporary information of navigational interest to marine using Admiralty paper chart. Marines are only required to hold notices to marine for paper chart that are on board, like UKHO or Hydrographic Office around the world issues notice to marine to update their paper chart. Some countries do not issue T&P NMS, and some do not update their ENCs with temporary information. EP-NMS. ENC, Preliminary EP or EP, the ENC Preliminary. NMS, highly navigational, highlight navigationally significant difference between ENCs and the Admiralty paper chart. These NMS are displayed in the same way as TNP NMS as a polygon with an uh, hatch fill with it indicates the area affected by the N and M. Each NM is allowed is located a unique EP/NM number and is exclusive to AIO. No overlay featured. Where the overly featured, where there is no Admiralty paper chart at equivalent scale to the ENC and UKHO is not able to compare uh, coverage and add additional information in this area. The AIO shows a gray hatch polygon labeled no overlay.
Function. Passage planning using EIO. So last chapter 5 states that all information relevant to the passage should be considered during planning. Appropriate skill. Accurate and up-to-date charts are to be used for the intended passage, as well as many relevant temporary notice to mariners. Policy of ANC procedures. Most procedures now include temporary information in their ENCS and it's received on your vessels as normal ENC update or new edition. This means that you can see the change on the ECDIS and the use peak report to obtain more information in the normal way. The ECDIS route assessment tools will automatically assess the temporal information because it appears as standard ENC objects. Your passage plan should be complied as normal using what you see display on your ECDIS along with the peak reports. Some procedures do not describe the information as temporary or preliminary in their ENCS. They simply issue update as required.
This is Decadet Davis Tito Jr. I am discussing the ECDIS symbology. In 2017, version 4.0 of the S52 presentation library introduced this symbol for temporary information. The symbol is displayed when the ANC procedure codes future when the time-based attributes such as a start or end date. It can be used for seasonal buoys, traffic separation scheme, and etc. Date-dependent future display according to the date set on your ECDIS. Therefore, it is advisable to plan your route with the ECDIS set to date for intended passage. Using IO, you should have a AIO active on your ECDIS screen during passage planning. Use the ANC and route checking in the normal way, noting any features that are described in the peak report as being temporary. Check your route with the ECDIS date set to planned passage time. You may see colored polygons that are associated with the Admiralty paper TNP NFs issued by the UKHO. The TNP NFs will be giving you additional information that is not already included in your ANCs. You should then open the text of the notice using the ECDIS peak report to assess and include the information in your passage plan as necessary. Compliance. The Admiralty paper TNPNFs are not issued as a corrections to electronic charts. Audit and compliance inspections require you to demonstrate that you are working with the latest ANC updates for your passage plan. You are also required to demonstrate that you have a system in place to reasonably obtain and access temporary information. Temporary information for digital navigation would be obtained from
The information included in the ANC. Number 2, extra informations in AIO that you may not include in ANC where their equivalent coverage by the Admiralty paper charts. The number 3, other sources on word such as NAV text. Then number 4 is local authorities such as agent or port authorities where the information is included in the ANC. You do not need to access paper charge notice as a their passage plan unless you are navigating with the paper charge. Number 1, I go to navigating ACDIS Admiralty information over. Then number 1, go to Navy Sailor, click the Oversee and tab AIO Charts tab. Then number 2, click Show AIO to display the AIO overlay. Then number 3, click on the AIO layer control to filter the AIO object informations. Then go to view the AIO data. Click the icon that toolbar to query to ANC pick report. Then number 2, click on the display AIO polygon box and pick report window will appear. Then to view the AIO data, click the highlights to identify the IO area. AI AIO area. Then number 4, at the info tab, view the AIO information such as ANC affected supporting the textual information and attach the text or picture file references. Click on the file to view the information in detail.